teachers can hold a special place in the lives of children, even leading into adulthood. In this week's Storytellers, 9 News reporter Ryan Hare and photojournalist Tom Cole take us to the early retirement of one teacher in Parker. And this could be his most important lesson yet.
Wow, man, there's a lot of people here.
ESL teacher Steve Martin.
I feel like a healthy 99-year-old.
Kept the students and staff at Prairie Crossing
Meetings aren't the same.
No, of course not.
On their toes for 16 years.
My voice is not doing so well, so I hope I can get through the whole speech. It's about 45 minutes long.
It's clear there will be a void in these hallways.
He's an important part of Prairie Crossing and always will be.
Especially since a retirement party was so unexpected.
I'm a little bit disappointed I didn't get to work more years, and disappointed that my retirement's not going to be exactly how I dreamed it might be.
Steve worked until ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, wouldn't let him work anymore.
How are you feeling today?
My legs are stiff.
He and his wife, Chisa, now spend retirement days in doctor's offices.
Good job.
And in physical therapy, just trying to loosen the muscles that twitch on their own as his motor neurons die. He'll eventually lose control of his movements. He likely won't be able to speak.
I feel like my back muscles are they're getting a little bit weaker.
Steve has a pretty good idea of what's coming, and he's mostly okay with it.
I'm ready to die at any time because I know that I'll be in heaven, I'll be with God, and I'll get a new body. I'm going to get a new camera to continue with my photography hobby. I'm looking forward to dying someday, but the hard thing is thinking about my family and leaving them.
The kids are learning to shave his face, brush his teeth, button his shirt, a tough ask with many more to come, which is why, on the day he was diagnosed, Steve told his wife he was sorry.
That was the hardest thing, that he said he's sorry, you know, like nothing to be sorry about, but he said he's thinking about us.
As one of his colleagues put it, Steve refuses to have a pity party for himself.
So I have a little bit of disappointment, but a lot of contentment.
Death to Steve is not the end. It's part of the experience for him and his family.
It's not fair that you should outlive your kids, but he's taught us to have, as sad as it is, a peace about the journey. And we're on a journey too with him.
As long as he has any time left in this chapter of his journey, he'll do what he does best.
I've had really a wonderful, wonderful life, and I've had a very fulfilling career. I've had so many great students, and I love every single one of those kids. That's kind of a lie.
He'll teach to anyone that will listen.
We're not going to talk about that kid.
In his final weeks at school, Steve turned what will likely take his life.
It gave me a lot of purpose for my final weeks at the school.
Into lessons on everything from perseverance to science.
Fifth graders are studying body systems, so I talked about how ALS affects the nerves.
All the teachers are going to be better teachers because of him. And every student that leaves here will be better because they knew Mr. Martin.
That's clear just looking around the room. The people who've listened to the lessons of Mr. Martin.
If you focus on those good things, then you can still have a lot of joy in life. And if you choose to focus on the negative, then yeah, you're going to have a hard time.
Know that dwelling on pain won't solve a thing.
You know, when I used to get like emotional or sad or down, he always told me, just look at the bright side of life.
That's not to say what's to come won't be sad.
I'm sure the staff of Prairie Crossing is sad. If I were losing somebody as amazing as I am, I would be sad too.
But why think about tomorrow when you've still got today left to truly live?
Things like happiness and health are wonderful, and I wish I had more of those, but those are all temporary things. But things like faith and hope and love are eternal, and there's no person, there's no circumstance, there's no sickness that can ever take that away from me or from my family.
Steve stressed that his story is just as much about the people helping him, about his wife, making sure he gets to his appointments and takes his medications, and about the Prairie Crossing community who have donated their time and money, building him a ramp at home, mowing the lawn over the summer. You can watch Steve's entire retirement speech in this story on 9news.com.
Thank you for that. But he's a teacher for all of us.
We can all learn something from him, no doubt about that.
And his wit.
Amazing outlook, funny as can be. Go watch the entire retirement speech, Kathy. It is something else.
Oh my gosh.